Hi there, my name is Richard McMunn from the interview training company PassMyInterview.com, and in this video tutorial I am going to teach you how to pass a personality test. So if you have a personality test coming up, I strongly encourage you to watch this tutorial in full from beginning to end, because it will make a big difference to your preparation. It will alleviate any nerves that you may have, but also you will know by the end of this tutorial exactly what they are looking for from you when you answer personality test questions. Now, these questions are the type that give you a statement and then you have to either answer them true or false. So the statement is, I always take risks, and you would have to honestly answer that as either true or false, or it might be presented in a different way. I find routine boring, and then you would be given options from 1 to 5. 1, you strongly disagree with that statement. 2, you disagree. 3, you neither agree or disagree, which is neutral. Or 4, you agree. Or 5, strongly agree. And then you'd have to choose which one. So they are quite confusing, these statements and these test questions. But as I say, by the time you get to the end, you will be competent in answering them and, more importantly, passing them. So before we get into it, very warm welcome to this personality test training tutorial. My name is Richard McMunn. I've been helping people for about 20 years now to pass their assessments and interviews. And in this tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to pass any kind of personality test. Please do make sure you subscribe to the channel by clicking the red button below the video, and then you won't miss out. And I'd also appreciate your support if you gave the video a like. Thank you. That always motivates me to create more content for you. Okay, let's get straight into it. Now, before I give you a large number of example personality test questions and how to answer them, let's explore what a personality test is. This is very important because that enables us to answer the questions correctly. So a personality test is used to measure your suitability and fit for specific job roles. I'll just quickly repeat that. A personality test is used to measure your suitability for specific job roles. So the personality test statements or questions need to be answered in line with the role that you are applying for. And I'll come on to that in more detail as we progress. Now, the test will normally assess your interpersonal skills, your thought process, and also your emotional capabilities. So the test will normally assess your interpersonal skills, how you get on with other people, how you think about things, and also how you respond emotionally to certain situations. Now, you are going to be presented with a statement, and you then need to decide whether or not that statement is an accurate representation of the skills, qualities, and or attributes you possess. Now, of course, it is very important that you answer personality tests honestly. However, I'm going to tell you what I would do when I tackle a personality test, and then you can decide yourself whether or not you are going to replicate my process for tackling these test questions. So personality test questions can be presented in lots of different ways. Let's take a look at each of the different personality test question styles. Now, as I say, just to reiterate, although it's obviously my duty to tell you to be 100% honest when answering personality test questions, I will tell you how I would personally approach them myself, and you can decide whether or not it's something that you want to follow, and I would suggest it is. So, example personality test questions. Which of the following statements best describes you? So here's the statement. I don't like meeting new people. I get excited when I am asked to work on a difficult project. I tend to get stressed in pressurized situations. I prefer to work alone. So which of those statements best describes you? Well, if I answer that 100% truthfully, I have to go for number 4, which is I prefer to work alone. I do. I prefer to work alone. However, if I answer that personality test question by selecting number 4, that is probably not what they are looking for. So if I read the statements and I think to myself, and this is the way to tackle personality tests, put yourself in the shoes of the employer. What are they looking for? And they are looking for somebody who gets excited when they are asked to work on difficult projects. Okay, so that's the answer that I would choose, even though, number 4, I do prefer to work alone. Let's have a look at another one. Which of the following statements best describes you? I tend to get upset easily. I don't like to analyse situations. I feel uneasy in meetings with people I do not know. I will go out of my way to help new members of the team. 100% the best answer is number 4, because they are looking for a personality trait where you do help people out. All employers want people who will help people out. New members of the team start and they want you to help that new person out. So you put yourself in the shoes of the employer or the hiring manager and you answer the questions in that manner. So with that type of personality test question, where you are presented with a statement and you have to pick one best describes you, always seek out the positive statement from them. So, as I say, put yourself in the shoes of the interviewer or the hiring manager. What are they looking for? And ask yourself the following question when answering every type of personality test question that comes up. What are the beneficial traits for the particular job that you are being interviewed for? And this will help you to tackle them. So I've already done the work for you. These are the top 10 skills, qualities, and personality traits all employers look for. They look for people who have strong communication skills. So if you get asked a personality test question based around communication skills, then choose the positive one, the one that demonstrates that you have got great communication skills. Also, honesty and integrity is up there in the top 10 list of personality traits that they are looking for. Someone who is flexible in their role, having persistence, determination, and self-discipline, and also working with other people harmoniously. The next set of 5, you are someone who is loyal. You have problem-solving capabilities. You are someone who learns things quickly. You are self-motivated and you work effectively under pressure. So if you want to pause the video and just go back and write all of those down, those are the top 10 skills, qualities, and personality traits that employers look for. So when you are tackling personality test type questions, look out for these and you'll see them in there and answer them based on the fact that you have all of those 10 skills. Let's have a look at some different personality test questions now. True or false type. I am easily irritated. So there's that statement and you have to answer it true or false. I get nervous talking to people I don't know. True or false. 2 more. I remain calm in stressful situations. True or false. I often get annoyed with people who get things wrong. True or false. Think about those traits that we've just gone through. Working with people harmoniously is one of them. The important top 10 traits. So if you were presented with that statement, I often get annoyed with people who get things wrong, how should you answer it? You already know the correct answer. So how would I personally answer true or false type personality test questions? I am easily irritated. I have to be honest, I do get easily irritated at times, but that would not be the way to answer it, because a team member who gets easily irritated is less likely to be able to work under pressure. So I would answer that as false. Okay, that's how I would answer it, because I'm not thinking to myself, so, I get easily irritated, let's tell them that. I am putting myself in the shoes of the hiring manager. And a lot of people will say, that's wrong, you shouldn't do that. And I respect that totally. But this is how I tackle personality test questions. I get nervous talking to people I don't know. So remember, one of them, the top one, was communication skills. So if you know that the top personality trait is communication skills in any role, then communicating effectively is an essential aspect of all work, then you would say false. I do not get nervous talking to people I don't know. I remain calm in stressful situations. So handling stress, that was another one of the traits that we came up with. That's an essential part of daily working life. So we would say, yes, true, I do remain calm in stressful situations. And then I often get annoyed with people who get things wrong. So anger or frustration are not helpful emotions whilst at work. However, patience with other people is helpful. So you would choose false. So if you remember on my top 10 list of, great personality traits, skills, qualities, and attributes, the last one was working harmoniously with other people. So you would have to choose false with that one. Let's take a look at some other ones, some tougher personality test type questions. These are the ones where you're presented with strongly disagree, disagree, neutral, agree, or strongly agree. These are, on the face of it, tougher. However, let me give you some tips for answering these. So you are presented with that statement. And here's one. I find it difficult to motivate myself. And you have to answer it as either 1, strongly disagree, 2, disagree, 3, neutral, 4, agree, or 5, strongly agree. So I would choose strongly disagree because remember, self-motivation was one of those top 10 traits, remember, that I put up? So we need to say that we don't find it difficult motivating myself, because an employer wants you to be a self-starter, someone who gets going, takes responsibility for completing tasks, and they are self-motivated. They don't need somebody else to say, come on, let's get the work done, you will do it yourself. Now, when presented with personality test questions of this nature, I advise against consistently going for either strongly agree or strongly disagree. A lot of people do that. They just go right at the end of the spectrum for each of them, and that is not the way to tackle them, because these personality tests will then identify that you're not answering them truthfully. My advice is to, where possible, stay on the correct side of the scale based on what you believe the employer or hiring manager is looking for. So you would either go for strongly disagree or disagree, and I'll give you some examples as we progress, so don't worry. Agree or 5, strongly agree, and mix them up. If you strongly agree on something, then choose it. If you just disagree on something, then choose that as well. Now, you'll also see that part in the center, which is neutral. Now, sometimes the neutral aspect is referred to as neither agree or disagree. Okay, but we're going to use neutral for the sake of this tutorial. And I'll explain when I choose neutral as we go through. So let's now take a look at a few more example personality test questions. I find it easy to form close relationships, and then we've presented with strongly disagree, disagree, neutral, agree, or strongly agree. Now, employers like to know that their employees are people who most people will be able to get along with and work with. Remember, one of the top 10 traits was working closely with others harmoniously. So I would say that I agree. I find it easy to form close relationships. Why did I not choose strongly agree? Because sometimes someone would come into a room and I might think, well, you're not my kind of person, but I will get on with you and I will try my hardest for the sake of my work and for the sake of the team. So I will choose agree on that basis. So have a go at this one yourself. It's your turn to try a personality test question. I'm going to put this up on the screen, and in the comments section below, tell me how you would answer it. We live in an unfair world. Do you 1, strongly disagree, 2, disagree, 3, neutral, you neither agree nor disagree, 4, you agree, or 5, you strongly agree? So please put your answer to this personality test question in the comments section below the video, and tell me why you've chosen your option. This is a difficult one. We live in an unfair world. I will tell you later on how I would personally answer this question. Okay, let's have a look at some more. I am reluctant to get involved with other people's welfare. Strongly disagree, disagree, 3, neutral, 4, agree, or 5, strongly agree. I am reluctant to get involved with other people's welfare. Now, being a supportive and trusting member of a team is beneficial to the organisation's goals. So I would put disagree there. Okay, I am reluctant to get involved with other people's welfare. I disagree. I will get involved with other people's welfare. So if they're not feeling good at work, they're upset about something, or I can detect that they are not working effectively as they normally would as part of the team, I'll get involved and find out why, because that's for the benefit of the team. So we're thinking about what the employer wants from us in their response. I refuse to concede an argument. This is a difficult one. 1, strongly disagree, 2, disagree, 3, neutral, 4, agree, 5, strongly agree. Now, a person who refuses to concede an argument is less likely to be compliant at work. Put yourself in the shoes of the hiring manager or the recruiter. Okay, so compliance is a valuable trait to most employers. People who will do what they are told to do. Compliance is a good thing. So I would put strongly disagree there. And I actually don't mind conceding arguments at times. Okay, let's move on to some more. I make an effort to get to know everyone I work with, and they're presented with 1, 2, 3, or 4 or 5. What's the answer? So knowing your work colleagues' strengths and weaknesses will help the team to perform better. Okay, so Being a supportive team worker is a great quality, so I would put agree. I do make an effort to get to know everyone that I work with. Let's have a look at some more. I'm never the leader amongst a group of people. Now, this is a difficult one. I am never the leader amongst a group of people. 1, strongly disagree. 2, disagree. 3, neutral. 4, agree. Or 5, strongly agree. Now, employers want people to step up and take the lead in difficult and stressful situations. So I would put strongly disagree, because that says there, I am never the leader. Well, at times I might be. Okay, I might step up and lead a situation if required. I find it difficult to motivate myself. This is easy. You remember, self-discipline is a highly desirable employee trait. I put that up earlier on. It was one of our top 10. So I would go strongly disagree there. So what about neutral? When should you choose that middle part, the neutral part? So choose neutral when you honestly and genuinely cannot agree or disagree with the statement presented. And it will happen at times. Here's one. A busy lifestyle at home suggests I will lead a busy lifestyle at work. Does it? I'm not really sure. I would choose neutral for that one. A busy lifestyle at home suggests I will lead a busy lifestyle at work. So let's now take a look at a mock personality test walkthrough. I'm going to go through at a snail's pace the following questions, and I want you to think about how you would answer them yourself. So the good news is there's normally no time limit with personality tests because they want you to answer them honestly. Remember to read the questions. So I want you to walk through this with me and tell me what your answers are to each of the questions in the comments section below. Let's get started. Question 1. I make the people I work with feel at ease. I make the people I work with feel at ease. Remember our top 10 traits, working with others. I would put strongly agree, because being able to work with other people and making them feel at ease is a great quality, because then you will get the most out of them. Number 2, I prefer obedient people as opposed to carefree people. Well, I would put agree. Now, there are benefits in some situations to having people who are carefree and they're not too fussed. However, if you work, in my opinion, in a workforce that's obedient and they get on with things and they do the jobs as required, then that is more beneficial in most circumstances to the organisation. So again, remember, put yourself in the shoes of the employer. What are they looking for? They would want somebody who is compliant, someone who is obedient in most cases. Number 3, and don't forget to tell me how you would answer these in the comment section below. You have to look after number 1. You have to look after number 1. So that's basically saying you've got to look after yourself. I would strongly disagree, because the employer is looking for people who will put the team first, who will put the organisational needs above their own. Okay, so there is no I in team, only in the a hole. Sorry. So you have to look after number 1. Strongly disagree. Next one. I usually adapt my behaviour so I work better with people. I usually adapt my behaviour so I work better with people. Yes, I've put agree there, not strongly agree, because it depends on the other person as well. But I will usually adapt my behaviour so I work better with people, because that is helping the team. Question number 5 of our personality test. I work best if I'm working in a team. Now, this is difficult. And this is where you are putting yourself in the shoes of the employer and the hiring manager. But don't forget, one of the very first slides that I put up during this tutorial, I mentioned the purpose of a personality test. And they are designed to find out whether you have the right skills and qualities to do the job that you are being interviewed for. So my answer to this one, I work best if I'm working in a team, will very much depend on the requirements of the job that I am applying for. So let's say I'm applying to be an IT engineer. Then I would put disagree, because IT engineers generally work better alone. So think about the role. If you are required to work alone and not so much as part of a team, then you would put disagree. But if you are applying, for example, to be a nurse, nurses work as part of teams, or firefighters, for example, then I would put strongly agree. I do work best if I'm working in a team. So think about what they are looking for. Number 6, I consider myself an unselfish person. I would put strongly agree. Okay, so I am an unselfish person. I put other people first before myself. Strongly agree. Don't forget to put in the comments section below how you would answer these. Question 7. You can't judge a book by its cover. Now, I would choose neutral for this because sometimes our instincts are really good, but at other times, you have to give people the opportunity to prove themselves and present themselves. But there are times, naturally, as human beings, when we do judge people or judge, a book by its cover. But I'm going to choose neutral for that one. Question number 8. Everyone should be treated equally. This is a very tricky one. But I would put agree. Everyone should be treated equally. Question number 9. We live in an unfair world. Remember, I put this one up. How do you think I'm going to answer this? Well, I would say agree, because that demonstrates that you are somebody who is who has empathy for other people, which is a great trait when you are working as part of a team. So some people might say, well, if you think we live in an unfair world, then, you're being a bit of a victim. But I don't agree with that. We do generally live in an unfair world. So I would click for agree, because this, I believe, shows compassion and empathy and mercifulness. This trait indicates the extent to which a person shows a caring and helpful persona. Question 10. I am reserved and shy. I would strongly disagree. Okay, because if I'm going to work at a place, an organisation, then they're going to want me to come out of my shell and talk to other people. Maybe I have to talk to others, outside of the organisation. And if I am reserved and shy, I'm going to struggle to do that. Question 11. I like to follow the crowd. Difficult one. Again, it depends very much on the level of responsibility required within the role. So if I was applying to be a manager or a supervisor or a team leader, I would put strongly disagree. Or if I was going to be a non-manager, I was applying for a non-management role, then I would choose strongly agree. Question 12. It is important to feel like you are part of something big and exciting. Now, again, my answer will very much depend on the monotonous nature of the role. If I was applying for a role as a call centre handler, for example, working in a call centre, then generally something big and exciting is not going to happen. So if I was going to be a call centre or admin role worker, I would choose disagree. Whereas a project manager, I would put strongly agree. Number 13, I am always realistic, even if that means being negative. I would disagree with that. Okay, I'm always realistic, even if that means being negative. I disagree. Tell me how you would answer that. Question 14, I would do overtime in order to get closer to my goals. Yes, strongly agree. I would do. That shows that I'm a flexible person. Remember, I did put up at the beginning those top 10 traits, and one of them was flexibility. Don't forget to revisit those. They are very, very important. Number 15, I often do before I think. I disagree with that. A better employee is someone who thinks before they do things. Okay, if they've got time, think about your actions and think about the consequences. So, hope you've enjoyed that so far. If you want to download my guide to passing personality tests, where you can try loads more and get more great tips on all of the kind of questions, click the link below the video or go to my website, howtobecome.com. Let me know what you thought of that tutorial. I hope you've enjoyed it. And please do let me know how you would tackle personality test questions. Don't forget to subscribe, and please do hit the like button. Thank you very much. And I look forward to teaching you during my next video on the CareerVids YouTube channel. Thank you very much and have a brilliant day.